coming on. Yes, I am. Gonna throw this in the Alchemist Nation, because I can. Is this loud enough for you? Join. Come on. If you're not moving your head right now, I can figure it out. And that was the killer styles of the band Six. Yours truly and our dear friend who recently departed. He moved on, and some other friends. But the reason why I'm actually pointing that out is NLP and collaboration. Now, one of the things that I noticed in my career in the music industry, for those of you who may not know, worked in the music industry for my the first half of my career, working on multiple Grammy-winning records with Celine Dion, J-Lo, the soundtrack to the Chicago movie, and more. But what I found was NLP to be an extraordinarily powerful resource to helping the artists and musicians and everyone who was involved participate even more fully, to dig even deeper. And the use of the technology of NLP was profound in the way that you could help people get into the right state, to get in the zone, to get creative, and also to think outside the box, to be willing to try new things. And yet at the same time, I needed to utilize my NLP to deal with all the stresses of being in the music industry, of all the challenges around organizing bands, organizing all the artistry and so forth. And not only was I a producer and an engineer, so I was on, behind the glass, I also was an artist and a musician that traveled and played gigs and, really had to wear different hats. And that was what was very interesting. And where NLP became helpful was the ability to change hats. Say, okay, I'm wearing the producer hat. Okay, nope, now I'm wearing the engineer hat. Nope, now I'm wearing the artist hat. Now I'm wearing the singer hat. Now I'm wearing the guitarist hat. And those actually had very different relationships with the music, with the people at hand, the people involved. So NLP as a collaborative tool is so powerful, because really what you're doing is that you're connecting with people on a other than conscious level, on an other than conscious or subconscious level. So to create that deep rapport. I mean, I'll share a quick story. When I started, the gig was I was an intern. So I would essentially be getting coffee, right? And basically, it's kind of an internship in many respects, especially in the music industry, is to see if you're cool enough to hang for, 12, 15 hours at a time. So utilizing the resource of NLP to build rapport with people, to connect with people, to know how to answer and ask questions in a way that helped people feel more at ease, more comfortable, to be willing to get vulnerable. Because that's what art really is, isn't it? Think about it. It is the ability to express yourself, but vulnerably, like to kind of try things that are awkward or uncomfortable, that are going to perhaps be judged, maybe people aren't going to like, and you're bearing your soul. And as a producer, neurolinguistic programming, or NLP, was so potent a resource to be able to help get the creativity out of like a vocal. right? To really help the singer get into that super vulnerable, authentic state so that they'd be able to express themselves so freely, so powerfully that you could actually connect through the tape, the proverbial tape now, because I'll date myself. I originally was using 2-inch tape. We cut 2-inch tape if we had to edit. Now, of course, it's all digital on Pro Tools and other devices as such. So the reason why I share that, because now I help people make music of their lives. Now I'm a producer of the swan song of your life. I collaborate with you to create that incredible life, that masterpiece, the orchestra, having everything firing on all cylinders, working together. And collaboration is in negotiation. Like, the best way to negotiate is to negotiate collaboratively, right? So everyone feels like they've won. Now, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. Utilizing the technology of NLP, of neuro-linguistic programming, what you're able to do is create that bond, that level of trust, that level of comfort, that level of knowing that you know that person, or at least feeling as if you know that person, and vice versa, right? It's that rapport where we're both in sync, we're both connecting, and neuro-linguistic programming is a powerful tool to creating that rapport by understanding what to listen for, what to look for, what to sense, right? Sensory acuity. And if you're looking to So we got lost, got disconnected. Damn technology. So what they did was they would look at the most successful people, right? And they would find those most successful people and learn what they did. And so the creators of it were modeling therapists like Fritz Perls and Virginia Satir and Milton Erickson. But then what they would do is find people really successful in business, or really successful in relationships, or really successful in sales, and then say, well, what are they doing differently? And what they noticed, there was patterns of how people spoke, what they looked for in noticing certain things, little things like, are they using pictures? Are they thinking in pictures at that moment? Or are they having a conversation? Or are they having a feeling, and noticing how to connect on that level, or noticing some certain language patterns, what was being said when not being said. Unpacking a belief system and understanding how a structured belief was created, right? The structure of a normalized belief. Like, how do you even create a belief? And all of these things are so powerful. So then you can then negotiate more effectively by understanding what someone believes, how do they believe that, and where are places to help them change those beliefs. That could be used in music. The way I used it in music would be to help people maybe reframe their relationship with getting vulnerable. Or maybe in sales, help reframe why that person may or may not want to take a certain action, what's preventing them, what do they need to believe in order to feel the way they feel, and then help shift them to take action. In my coaching, using NLP to help someone come up with the solutions themselves by using the right questions, by understanding how they're communicating with themselves, and then help guide them to an answer so that they have full ownership. Because NLP is just language for what we're already doing. It's nothing really new. There's only so many ways you could draw a square. So when you apply neuro-linguistic programming to any area of your life, you're going to have a deeper understanding as to who, what, where, and why you're doing what you're doing in the first place, or why someone else is. You as well could experience more compassion, more understanding, more empathy by being more present with that person or those people, which goes to then speaking live, speaking virtually. How can you use your voice, your God-given voice, to be even more persuasive, to be even more influential by understanding how people process all of this information that's coming in. So in music, it was super powerful as a producer, as an engineer, as an artist, meeting new people. In sales, super powerful to get yourself in state, to be ready to sell, to be ready to communicate, to meet new people, to influence people, to take action for what's best for them and have them own it. And then ultimately for yourself, to connect even more to who you are so you can communicate even more effectively so that you can design your life story, your epic warrior's journey. So if this is interesting to you, please reach out to me. I'd love to support you even more. I saw someone had posted a question. The question was, how long does it take? Well, that's kind of a loaded question. NLP can speed things up, and at the same time, you don't eat one salad and go, I'm healthy. You don't walk around the block once and go, marathon, here I come. So when you're thinking in terms of NLP, it's really having a long-term awareness as to how you're communicating and how others are communicating, modifying and adjusting as you go. Sometimes people might be in one modality because of a context in which they're working. It may not be their primary modality, but it may be, and when I say modality, come on and join us at some of our trainings. We, as a matter of fact, have one starting this Thursday. So if you're interested in getting on board, we have the Heart of NLP, the Fundamentals of NLP. It's a 6-month training once a month, getting together for a couple of hours, and then during the break, applying some of the things we talk about, some of the trainings, applying, chiming in, getting together in your coaching pods and supporting that process, because it's like going to the gym. You've got to work out more than once. You've got to practice these principles more than once. And I'll just leave you with this thought. And I realize this weekend was Valentine's Day, and I'm sorry, I don't know who, I'm going to chime in on this, but yes, thank you. It just says Facebook user on my screen here. It says, what? I have to eat more than one salad to be healthy? Yeah, I think so. Just don't eat them all at one time. So yeah, you know what? You have to I lifted the weight once. It's like Pee Wee Herman. He lifts up the weight once and he's like, okay, I'm done. But when I was first dating Heidi, and at one point, she had asked me to do something, and I don't remember. I'm sure she doesn't remember specifically what it was, and what we like in relationships. And the thing about NLP is that you try it, right? You act as if. That's some of where the act as if came, but you've got to put yourself in the state and you try things and calibrate, see if it's working. And Heidi, knowing that I, at the time, was a master practitioner, now I'm a trainer of NLP, there are some people who have some interesting associations, their beliefs around it, that it's manipulative or, could be used maliciously, malevolent, you know what I'm saying? So then she realized, and she's like, oh, you're just trying, because I said, this is new. I'm trying it. You've asked for something that's new to me, and I'm trying it. And in neurolinguistic programming and NLP, there's a lot of sometimes trying things to expand, to grow. But by utilizing NLP, you speed the process up because you're able to ask the right questions to know what specifically to try, how to get into the mind of the person who you're modeling, to have a deeper understanding of the order in which things must happen in order to be successful. The syntax or the order of a recipe is really important. You could have the right ingredients to bake a cake, but if you cook the eggs before you put it in the batter, it will not be as successful. And same is true with the way you and I do anything. There is a successful syntax that we can get by modeling others, and then there's non-successful that we sometimes pick up other than consciously. So with that being said, I appreciate you for who you are and who you aren't. And I look forward to serving you more. If you have any questions at all, please, as always, serve me. All right, let's explain it like it's actually deprogramming rather than programming. Yes, absolutely. It's about unpacking so that we can go, oh, okay, this is how it's done. And then we can program. But first, we've got to unpack. First, we've got to really dig into how it was created in the first place so that we can make it better, right? It's basically NLP, philosophy of NLP that I like to use is celebrate what works and then simply add what's missing. Maybe take away something, but usually it's just adding a perspective, adding a shift, adding something that is going to be even more potent and powerful. And with that being said, I appreciate you. I love you for who you are and who you aren't. And we will see you tomorrow. I think we're going to do it again at 5 o'clock. All right. God bless. See you soon.